Hi everyone, my name is Miss Hannah. I'm from the Bala Library, and today I have my lemon shirt on because we are going to be doing some lemon science. And our first experiment is actually going to be edible. So to get started, our first one is called Fizzy Lemonade. And for Fizzy Lemonade, you are of course going to need some lemons. I have 6 lemons here. You don't need that many. Between this experiment and our second one, you'll probably need 2 or 3. That should be good. You will also need some sugar and a tablespoon, which I already have in my sugar here. You'll need some baking soda. You'll need 2 glasses or more if you have siblings that might want to try Fizzy Lemonade as well. You'll also need a citrus squeezer or citrus juicer. I have this little one here that's specifically for lemons, but any kind of fruit or citrus squeezer will work. You'll also need 1/4 teaspoon, some ice cubes, and also a pot for boiling water. And this is where you'll also need a trusted adult to help out with the boiling of the water. So to get started, the first thing you want to do is take one of your glasses and put it in the freezer. Because for this experiment, we're going to try to make fizzy lemonade in both a room temperature glass, so just a regular cup that's been sitting out, and then one that's also nice and ice cold that we're going to add ice cubes to. So go ahead and pop one of your glasses in the freezer while we get the rest of the experiment started so that we can see what the difference is between the cold glass and the warmer glass. And now we need to boil some water, so let's head on over to the kitchen and start boiling some water on the stove. So now that my water is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and stir in 4 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm using 4 because I'm going to do 2 glasses, but if you only want to do 1 glass, you should use 2 tablespoons. And if you want to do more than 1 or more than 2, just make sure that you add 2 per glass. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you like your lemonade a little bit sweeter, you could go ahead and add more. And then I'm going to stir it around until it dissolves. And once it has dissolved, all the sugar's dissolved in the water, just want to turn the burner off and let it cool. Because we don't want warm lemonade, we want nice, cool lemonade. It's a hot day, it's like 95 degrees, we want nice, cool lemonade. So now it's all dissolved, turn our burner off, and wait for it to cool. So while my water sugar mixture is cooling, I am going to juice the lemons. So if you're making 2 glasses like I am, you're going to need 1 lemon per glass. So we're going to need to juice 2 lemons. And I forgot to mention at the beginning, you're also going to need a trusted adult to help out with cutting the lemons and the other fruit for both of our experiments. So now, while I'm waiting on that to cool, I'm going to go ahead and juice my lemon. So after lots of squeezing, I have the juice from my 2 lemons. So I poured the first lemon juice into our room temperature glass. And then I just got our second glass, our frozen one, out of the freezer. And for this one, you are going to want to put ice in it to make it colder. So I'm going to put a couple of ice cubes in our frozen glass. Just like that. There. And then I'm going to pour the other lemon juice into our frozen glass. And then we are going to add our sugar water, which is now nice and cool, and we're going to pour it into each glass. And hopefully I don't spill it. that. Starting to look like lemonade. And finally, the last step, we have some nice lemonade here. But the last step to really make it fizz is to add baking soda. So we are going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda to each glass and see what happens. So we add 1 to our frozen glass and 1 to our warm glass. And as you can see, they are starting to get fizzy. But you might notice that one of the glasses is taking a little bit longer to fizz. The warmer glass fizzed right away, but this glass over here, the frozen glass, still isn't quite fizzing yet. And if you have any guesses as to why that is, let me know. So we're starting to get a little bit of fizz, but definitely not as much as our room temperature glass. So for this experiment, we actually did another chemical reaction, just like the last time I was here. So lemons are highly acidic. They're a citrus fruit. They have a lot of acid. They're highly acidic. But our baking soda, like we talked about last time, is an alkaline substance. So when you combine the acidity of the lemons with a more basic substance like baking soda, they create a chemical reaction, which is what we're seeing. This is why our lemonade is fizzing. And that gives off carbon dioxide. We've talked about carbon dioxide a lot this summer. That's what makes the bubbles in our dancing corn, and that's what makes the fizzing in our lemonade. So it gives off carbon dioxide gas, which is completely harmless. Carbon dioxide is when you exhale, you go, whew, that's what comes out is carbon dioxide. So by adding just a small amount of baking soda, just a 1/4 teaspoon to our lemonade, we can make it bubble and fizz without it tasting gross. So you can actually go ahead and take a sip. And it tastes just like regular lemonade. You can't even tell that the baking soda is in there. It doesn't taste at all like baking soda. It just tastes like regular, cool, fizzing lemonade. And the fizzing and popping give it a little bit of extra fun. So go ahead, try out your lemonade, as long as you're not allergic to lemon, sugar, baking soda, or anything else that's in the ingredients. You can give it a try. It's perfectly safe to drink. It's just nice, fun, and fizzy. For our second experiment, we are going to make a lemon volcano. So again, you will need some lemons. The more that you have, the better, just in case one doesn't work as well. I'm probably gonna do 2 or 3 lemons for mine. And I'm also going to try out some other citrus fruit. I'm gonna try an orange and a grapefruit. And when I went to the store, I wanted to get some limes as well, but they were actually out of limes. So we're gonna try some lemons, an orange, and a grapefruit, since they are all citrus fruits. So we will also need, again, some baking soda to make our reaction happen. You'll also need some food coloring so that you can see the volcano erupting. You'll need some Dawn dish soap, some bowls to put each of our erupting fruits in. I'm going to put the lemons in these little ones and the grapefruit and orange in the bigger ones. You'll also need craft sticks or popsicle sticks. I have these jumbo wooden craft sticks here. And you can also use lemon juice if you'd like. So if you have lemon juice left over from our last experiment with the fizzy lemonade, you can use that to kind of pour on top to get a little bit of a bigger reaction. So let's see if we can make a lemon, orange, or grapefruit volcano. Okay, so to make our lemon volcano or orange volcano or grapefruit volcano, just like with our last experiment, the fizzy lemonade, you are going to, if you're allowed to use a knife, you're going to want to go ahead and cut each of your fruits in half, or have a trusted adult cut them in half for you. So now I have some beautiful citrus fruit here, and I have 3 lemon halves, and I actually juiced the last half so that we could add a little more lemon juice to our experiment, see if we can get maybe a little bit bigger eruption, but you don't have to do that, it's up to you. So once you have everything cut, you're going to want to place them in a bowl or on a plate or in something that can catch the eruption. So I'm going to put mine in these little bowls. Just like that. And the other half is good to eat or make another eruption, whatever you want to do with it. Just, again, as long as you're not allergic to citrus fruit. I know I'd like to give that disclaimer because my dad is actually allergic to citrus fruits. So just a disclaimer, if you are allergic, please, please, please do not eat or do this experiment, just watch. Okay, so now we have all of our fruit in our bowls. The grapefruit maybe need a little bit bigger bowl, but we'll see. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your popsicle stick, craft stick, whatever you have, and you're going to want to poke some holes into various sections of each fruit. So I'm going to use a different stick for each one so that we don't get the juices of one into the other, since this is an experiment. So you're just going to take it and poke some holes down in it. I'm going to do like every other section. So once you have some holes poked in each of your fruits, you are going to want to take the food coloring. You can use any color on any of the fruits, whatever color you want your eruption to be. Place a couple drops of food coloring on each. So I'm going to take some blue and do 3 drops of blue here, maybe 1 here, 2 here, 1 there. Some green here, green, some yellow, and some red. I'll do red over here. Again, as many as you want. A little more on our grapefruit so we get hopefully a more colorful reaction out of the grapefruit. It's a little bigger. Just like that. So whenever you're satisfied with your food coloring, you can then pour some Dawn dish soap. This step is optional. It'll make hopefully more of a foamy, bubbly reaction. If you don't have any Dawn soap or you just don't want to use your dish soap, that's okay. This step is totally optional, but I'm going to use it. And we are going to just pour some dish soap all over the top of each. That. I'm so sorry, the cats are wild today. Just like that. With a little bit of dish soap on top of each. And finally, to get our eruption going, we are going to take the baking soda, and you can measure it out if you'd like, but it actually doesn't matter how much. Just start with a little bit at a time to see how big your reaction is, and you're going to sprinkle a generous amount on top of each fruit, and then you can use your craft stick to poke it down into the holes. So let's get our eruptions going, hopefully. Put some on our first lemon. Hopefully you can see a little bit of reaction starting to happen. And we'll try the orange and the grapefruit as well. again, you're going to want to use a pretty generous amount on each. And then go ahead and kind of poke it down in. And here goes our first one. You can see, hopefully see it starting to erupt. Let's see if we can get this one going. There it goes. This one's starting to erupt as well. You can see the foamy, and it should also be kind of sizzling too. And let's try this one. There it goes. And let's see if we can help out our grapefruit and our orange. There goes our orange. Help the baking soda down in. There we go. So as you can hopefully see, we now have some eruptions going on. There goes our grapefruit. Our orange is going pretty well too. Our lemons, I think this one is probably our best one here. Everything is starting to erupt. The reason this happens, just like with our lemonade and our reactions last time with the dancing corn, the reason that we can get a nice volcano going in each of our citrus fruits is because we've made another chemical reaction. So the citric acid in the lemon juice and also in the grapefruit and the orange, since they're all citrus fruits, they all have citric acid. When you mix it with baking soda, which is again a base, you create carbon dioxide. And the fizzing and bubbling of the carbon dioxide during the chemical reaction is what makes the fizzing, the bubbling, the little eruption. And in this case, the dish soap, it's not part of the chemical reaction. It just makes a bigger eruption because it gets, when it gets wet, it gets soapy and makes kind of a bubbly, fizzy reaction. It makes it a little bit more of an exaggerated eruption. And I'm gonna also pour some of our lemon juice on, and you can actually keep adding more baking soda. So you pour lemon juice and you get a bigger reaction. And you can add more baking soda to any of them, and it should keep going. Let me add some more to this one down here. Because again, we're adding the base, which is baking soda, and then when I add this acid of the citrus from the lemon, we get a nice bubbly eruption. Thank you everyone again so much for joining me this week. Hopefully you were able to get some delicious fizzing lemonade. Very refreshing. And I really hope you were able to get a nice, fun, erupting lemon volcano. And if you're able to get any limes, or if you also used a grapefruit or an orange, I know I got some pretty good reactions from those. Please do share your reaction with me in the comments. I would love to see how big you're able to get it. Maybe if you add more baking soda or more lemon juice, maybe juice some of the other half of the orange, or the other half of the grapefruit, and let me know what you come up with. I would love to see your reactions. But thank you again for joining me today, and I hope you join us again next week for another video.